being able to spot patterns and concepts, and also probably a little bit of making assumptions about what people's experiences might be like because you relate to them, can lead to one, being able to relate to tons of people, and on the other hand, feeling like you're being a little bit deceitful, but not so much that you're being deceitful, but more so that you might appear deceitful to someone else. For example, people have, I wanted to say different experiences of God, but I would say similar experiences of God. And I'm talking about interacting with people across religions, Christians, Muslims, Sikhs, all sorts of people, even people who view the world through an atheistic frame. They have a lot of the same experiences, or what I perceive as the same experiences, but they talk about them in different languages, languages which I'm familiar with. However, because of the traditions that people are part of, and the sort of dogmatism, the unconscious dogmatism that comes with the very language of these traditions, there's a certain possessiveness that comes with human experience in general that's really owned by, one might say, the collective evolution of humanity in general. There are certain experiences, and I don't doubt that different religious traditions, different spiritual traditions do actually have some ownership of very specific frames of experience. For example, being born again within Christianity. I don't know if any other religion has that experience. However, there are many other experiences, emotional experiences, or just perspective frames of mind that, regarders of one tradition, will claim to own. However, it does actually exist as an emotional or perspective space within all sorts of people from different traditions, spiritual or otherwise. So, being able to speak the language of many does give me a little bit of anxiety in thinking that even though I'm not, within my own perception, being deceptive, and it's certainly not deceptive coming from my own perspective space, my own mental map of all the different kinds of experiences and ways of perceiving, angles of perceiving reality. I do have the anxiety that I may be seen as deceitful simply because I can speak in the language of at least a few frames of mind. Now, in relating to somebody who's coming from a specific tradition, there's a certain belonging factor. And maybe this is where where I get the most anxiety, is the exclusivity of saying, if you have these experiences, you must be one of us. Or if you have these experiences, you must be one of them. But I've experienced both, and I can speak to both. And perhaps I'm being very abstract, but I'm deliberately trying to not be too particular. Um, but maybe what I'm really claiming is there are a lot of assumptions when it comes to being exclusive and dogmatic about your own belief system, and assuming that your belief system is, the name of your belief system is correct. Like, you experience things because you are a blank Christian, Muslim, whatever, atheist, free thinker. when really these specific kinds of experiences are held all over the place, and the demonyms or the names that are supposed to be there to categorize specific kinds of belief system and therefore different kinds of experiences that are available through that belief system. There's an assumption that these things are accurate, so belonging to one thing or another is like one team or another. There's the assumption that these things are accurate when, in my experience, they're not at all accurate. The words we use to belong to a certain belief system are really quite meaningless.